Because like nobody's seen you forever. We're gonna hide your face for a minute. Good stuff. So wait, how do I get rid of that? Oh yeah, I always forget. What's up, good people? So I think everybody knows that guy, or at least might remember him. Some recollection. My good friend Matt.
Deep dark history.
Yes. Who comes on to play video games every now and again.
when I've drunk too much and I'm just like, I'm just gonna do some live stuff, murder people in a video game. It's fine.
For those of you who don't know, this is Cocktails and Comics, where we just kind of hang out and have a drink.
Dude, that is super fancy. What does that do?
It just takes the cork out really effectively.
Oh. That's the fanciest thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely. So this is the part of the show where I feed my wife drinks. And it's been a long week. Here you go, babe.
What a beautiful pour.
Yeah.
Oh, so I went to grab a glass, right? And my Green Lantern glass is chipped and broken.
No!
But, however, I'm not too mad about it. It was a birthday gift from She Who Must Not Be Named. So,
oh yeah,
I can get a new one.
That's true, and
So
it won't be from She Who Must Not Be Named.
It's a Deathly Hallows kind of night,
right? Oh, Carlito knows who you are.
What's up, Carlito?
He's hanging out.
I'll pour myself a little bit extra.
Yeah, one for the road, huh? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Today was a tough day. Thankful for the fam, cigars, and whiskey. Amen, brother.
Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers. So this whole thing started actually with me having a conversation with this guy about, hey, let's just get on the air and like talk about shit and have some drinks and, you know, kind of celebrate the near end of the week.
Yeah, there was really nothing planned about it. But we're just going to wing it and
somebody's offering to replace your,
damn it.
your shot glass, right? I know. Shut up.
It's not broken. I'm going to super glue it back together. It's fine.
I'm going to super glue it.
But yeah,
no,
man,
we were saying here, so
super excited to be here. Like, thank you for inviting me on.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm very floral today. This is what I wore to work. So
you
not themed.
You work at a
Hawaiian Airlines company
or wait, what? No, there was a good one. Is it a Magnum PI clothing store?
Yes. We sell only the finest Hawaii 5.0 Kevlar vests under Aloha shirts. Yes.
Right.
No, I don't know why I changed. So everywhere I've worked, military had a uniform. The last job I had was very casual, and now that I'm working at Ball Aerospace, I kind of wanted this whole, like, why wouldn't I dress like I'm happy all the time? Which, I mean, arguably, like, it's kind of dangerous because you're not always going to be happy. But my shirts make other people smile at work, which is great. And everybody's always like, wait, is it Friday? And I'm like, you wish. And I wish. So I've been wearing like Aloha shirts literally every day.
Aloha JoJo.
I don't know. It's kind of out there, kind of different, but
absolutely. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But so as I was saying, I was trying to get this together with you, but you had your girls for the summer and you wanted to dedicate your time to it, which is awesome. You haven't gotten to spend a whole lot of time with them over the last few years. And that was great. So how was the summer with the girls?
Yes. So, man, I mean, you guys saw me have multiple breakdowns over the course of like 2 years that I lived in Colorado.
With your family, yeah.
It was rough. Like literally 3-hour drinking sessions on YouTube where I was just sad.
Well, in your defense, you always tried to end it, but nobody would let you.
Yes, that is also factually correct. There were very many like, okay, bye at 30 minutes, and then hours would pass.
It's Kenny's long hello and Matt's long goodbye.
Never put us together.
Yeah, no, we'll just go on forever.
So they moved here in October of 2020 during COVID and stuff, and it was kind of crazy. With them starting new schools and daycares and stuff, because my youngest is 4, almost 5. My oldest turns 14 tomorrow. 14. And so over the summer, like I knew that my ex-wife, who our relationship has really gone a long way. She even has like a TikTok dedicated to like how to improve your relationship with like your ex, whoever, which is kind of wild. But we do have like a great relationship, and people that see us when we hang out together typically think we're married. We're not. We're just great at being friends, terrible at being husband and wife.
Yeah.
But that's come a long way. And with that, I knew she was really stressed about having the kids, by herself for so long. So I asked if she wanted me to watch the children for the summer. What's going on, Comic Books NYC and Flicks and Comics? Oh my God, it's been so nice to see all of you guys. So I offered to watch them for 2 months. And honestly, this is the longest I've had my kids by myself, like ever. So,
I'm sure. Yeah.
I was pretty scared and nervous and excited. And they came over. I obviously, I don't have a big space. Maybe a mistake on my part. I didn't know they were going to move here.
Well, but, sure. I mean, you're in a lease still, right?
Yeah, but we had a lot of fun. The first 2 weeks were pretty rough. Some crazy stuff going on. My daughter, 13, had her first breakup, literally like the day after she moved in. So we watched, 500 Days of Summer, ate a bunch of ice cream.
I remember that post. Yeah.
Yeah, we cried a lot. There was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, this is terrible. And then it built up and things got maybe into a rhythm. And they definitely see me as the cool dad, but without realizing that, like, if I was like the full-time dad, I'd be crazy. But yeah, so 2 months ended at the beginning of August. So yeah, thank you for being patient with me jumping on this.
Not a problem. I had a lot going on during December too, but tried to swing it a little bit. Los was great, hopping on when he could. We got to do something with Kavi. So no, it's good. But we were just talking backstage. So I feel your situation. I have my daughters are roughly 10 years apart as well. But I break it up in the middle with a boy who's in high school. My daughter is now graduated, so I know and understand. I've been through that. So your oldest daughter is now starting high school. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm here for you, right? But I just know the level of hell that you're walking into,
dude.
It is like the 8th circle.
Who knew? Like, I mean, even my 4-year-old, I'm sure your daughters, when they're young, they're super nice and lovey most of the time. They're sometimes evil, but you try to like pretend like, that's just 4. They're crazy sometimes.
My wife's nodding over there.
But like, they're adorable. And when they do bad stuff, you're kind of like, yeah, I should punish you or scold you, but I'm not going to be like
so damn cute. Yeah.
But then like, dude, 13 happened and it was like, Mom, Dad, I hate you. Like, I cannot wait to move out. I want nothing to do with you. I'm hormonal. I'm freaking out over like small stuff, right? So one of the incidents that happened over the summer, which I don't know, she went through some like mental stuff at the beginning where like the first day that I had her, other than the breakup, it wasn't the first, it was like a week after, she snuck a boy over to my apartment. Just to play like a Mario Kart. And luckily I have this little camera for my dog that is like, what do you, anyway. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take away your phone for a week. And like, whoa, who knew that taking away a teenager's phone these days is
luxury cloud.
It's the end of the world.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
It is the end of existence, where she was like, guess what? I kind of wish I was dead. And I'm like, okay, we have to take this very seriously. We need to pump the brakes. We need to realize that like, if this phone is the limit, if that's where you're calling the line, we have to put some perspective into this because so we had a lot of like philosophical discussions and watched a lot of stuff, and she's learned a lot. And the last 2 months, or like the last month she was with me, were just amazing. And then high school starts, and yeah, man, it's been like a week and a half of just like she's in like 3 honors classes.
That's fantastic.
Cross country, marching band, and I had to tell her, like, this is a lot. Like, you're a freshman in high school. This is your first experience in this setting, and you're putting a lot on your plate. And I'm not telling you that that's a bad thing, but I would suggest being very careful and monitoring how you feel, how you're doing, and let's make sure you're communicating with me so I know when it's too much. And if it's too much, we need to back off. We need to take maybe something off your plate. And that's a discussion I had today with her because I just got back from back to school parent night. And I could just tell she was so stressed out. So again, you always got to make sure if you're having a hard time, if you're struggling, you just got to stop, take a good breath, big, deep breaths, and try to break apart everything that's going on and find what are the stressors, what's going on in your life that maybe isn't that important, that's actually causing you a lot of problems. And like, let's push that back. Let's make that something that we can handle down the line, and let's focus on what's important now. And again, she's 13 going on 14, so it probably went in one ear and out the other, and she'll just ignore everything I said. But
it's possible. But it's also, I mean, I honestly, I think the fact that you're having that conversation with her, even with that gap of time where you weren't, as much in her life, I think that's fantastic. I think you're doing a great job as a dad. So you got nothing to worry about. Doesn't matter because they're going to hate you at some point, but they'll get over it.
Oh, well, now that I know that.
Especially when they need a car.
she brought it up. She's like, did you know that like literally in a year I'm going to be driving? And I'm like, yeah, with my permission.
Yeah, like, your mom's car.
This doesn't happen unless I say so. So like, don't screw up.
Right.
But so no, she's been pretty good.
There's some people who are very happy to see you.
Alex. Hi, Leia Comic Bro.
JoJo's happy about marching band. Biggie's digging the pics.
Thank you, New World Order Comics. Not too many comic book pictures these days.
No, it's good. All good.
Definitely. I didn't realize Denver is like, okay, so they call it the bass capital of the world. And I never listened to like house music or EDM or any of that stuff. I've always been like, I want metal, and I want it blacker than the blackest black. I want the darkest metal you could give me. Like I want to be in a mosh pit. I love all that stuff. I moved here and like, well, I guess I'm listening to EDM because it's.
I'm like, I've never actually heard you post anything metal.
Yeah, no. Well, because surprisingly, there's not that much metal that shows up here. I mean, kind of. Like I'm going to go see Ask Alexandria. I mean, they're not really metal, but there's some coming up. But a lot of like what I listened to was all like old emo music. Like I can't wait to see like My Chemical Romance or. There's a bunch of like the stuff I listened to in high school. I'm excited about, but not so much metal these days. But yeah, so I post a lot about that, and then just I don't know, everyday life here. I do occasionally. I had a comic book post kind of recently, right? Maybe.
What was that?
Oh yeah, look, I posted that National Comics 26. Back on like happy July 4th.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Uncle Sam.
Oh,
good stuff.
One of my favorites.
But what's great is that you're not one thing, right? And that's what I dig about you, right, as a person and what you do. Like yes, you're into video games. Yes, you're into comics, but you read a lot, right? You're very well read, especially in fantasy genres, right?
Yeah.
Big Harry Potter fan. Right, so
huge,
big Harry Potter nerd, right? And you like, I assume, I mean, having spent some time in the military, you've done a bit of travel.
Yeah, not for vacation though. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I mean I don't know how other people feel about it, but like I've kind of had this not really a rolling obsession. I don't know what you would describe that, but like I fall in love with one thing, I go ham for a little bit, I go really deep into it, and then I kind of taper it back, obviously because you do too much of one thing, it overwhelms you. Hence, years of doing YouTube, I took a step back. Years of reading comics. I've been reading a lot of fantasy novels because fantasy novels, comics, and stuff have kind of been my foundation, right? Like that's what I always go back to. But I took a huge step back from comics. I didn't even finish Morrison's Green Lantern. One, because it was super weird, and two, because I don't know. It was weird to me. But I've still been like listening to audiobooks and all that. And then during COVID, I picked up anime really hard, which is super unusual for me because, man, I made fun of anime kids for so long.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. So my daughter's a huge. My oldest daughter, she's 20. She's big anime fan.
Oh,
and like,
okay.
but we miss on the anime stuff because like mine's all like 80s anime, right? And hers new stuff. And I'm like, okay, Ninja Scroll, Fist of the North Star, Robotech, and she's like My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan, and I'm like, that's really super weird.
But
like,
you should give them a shot. I mean, My Hero's kind of meh. I mean, it's good, but it's kind of more on the childish Naruto side. But Attack on Titan that's actually one that took me forever to get through because you watch a few episodes and you're just depressed. you have to take a step away and watch something like super happy and full of fantasy and love.
That explains some things, yeah.
Yeah, that one's not a good feel.
Yeah, Voltron ended way too soon, I'd say.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I got into hockey really big when I moved here. That was pretty obvious.
Sadly, it was the Avalanche, though. Too bad.
No, that's where it's at, man.
I'm having the worst sports year imaginable, right? So being up in Chicago, right? The Blackhawks haven't done anything for years. I'm not a Bears fan. I'm an Eagles fan. Eagles dismantled their team last year, blaming everybody but themselves. And then what do the Cubs go and do? Get rid of every good player that they have.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe, like, I went, like, my family for Father's Day buys me a Baez jersey. And my wife, to her credit, she's like, I'm never buying you a jersey again. It's like the death knell. Every time I get a jersey, like I got a Wentz jersey a couple years ago, and he gets,
you should keep it though because he's going to be amazing.
Oh, I know, yeah, he's playing for Denver, which I'm like, hey, that's great.
No. Indianapolis, sir.
Sorry, Indianapolis. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking, Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
But he's a great quarterback. You got to have somebody protect you. Like that's all I'm saying. Like. You have to have 3 seconds to throw the ball, or at least look downfield before you get beat from the side.
That's a fact.
And that's what he didn't have. And it's like, oh, Jalen Mills can scramble, well, so can Wentz, but you don't want to be running every single play, man.
Yeah, but Wentz has also shown that he's made of glass.
No, that's not true. I mean, he got a horrible hit. I mean, like helmet on the kneecap. It was like that was brutal.
Well, the Colts just traded for him, and literally like the first week of training camp, he had foot surgery.
Yeah.
But I mean, he literally is ahead of the timetable, so they're thinking he might be back for the not preseason, but the first week of the season. But I'm really hoping that he performs well. If he is anything like Peyton Manning, I will literally a quarter of what Peyton Manning is. I'll take it.
I'll tell you right now, every success that the Eagles have had in the last 2 years is because of him, right? Having no offensive weapons whatsoever downfield and still being able to win games and turn out the number of yards that he has as a quarterback, right? Receiving yards. It's just it's mind-boggling, like how people are not actually seeing that. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I'm hoping. I mean, the Colts have a great offensive line, so
ouch.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Hey, TJ, I was a Red Wings fan for decades, right? The Russian 6, right, or Russian 5 actually, with Yzerman. Yeah, those were my years, man. Scotty Bowman is just. I mean, he's got a plaque already in the Hall of Fame with his name on it, ready for whenever they decide to induct him. Because nobody is a better judge of anything hockey than I think Scotty Bowman. I mean, going from being the coach of the Red Wings and having, I don't know how many, 6 winning seasons, right? Championship seasons, and then becoming the head scout for the Blackhawks, you know, and finding the guys that he did and putting that team together, you know, to go, you know, straight for the cup. Yeah. Crazy.
So you're a Blackhawks fan?
Yeah, you know, you can't live in Chicago and not convert. You really just can't, you know, because I was a Red Wings fan in California. I didn't actually grow up in Michigan or anything, so it was like more of a lack of options, you know, because Northern California had no team until like the San Jose Sharks, you know, and the Anaheim Ducks were more of a joke than anything.
They had the coolest jerseys back in the day, though.
Yeah, big old duck, you know, and the mask on it. Yeah.
They so I think the Avalanche are playing the Blackhawks' first game of the season this year.
Mm-hmm. It's a couple weeks, right?
October 13th.
Is it October? I thought they always started in September.
They'll have preseason games in September.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it always offsets from football. Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm so excited. My body is ready.
You know what's funny?
What?
So I actually, I have like a stack of things that like I just try to like open up on the show. You know, because this is like my time to actually, you know, open up something I got. I have something that's relevant to your shirt. Yeah. No, this one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be good. So, are you reading anything comics lately? Like digital or otherwise?
So I just got. I just got a bunch of copies of The Boys, so I figure I would like to get into The Boys.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, like that's comics-wise, that's pretty much it, which is kind of interesting. I have been watching a lot of comic book stuff. I just watched Invincible, and I don't know what took me so long to watch that. That was amazing.
Just watched what?
Invincible on Amazon Prime.
Are we talking about? The TV show, the cartoon. Gotcha.
Yeah, the animated show. It's so good. But yeah, I can't even tell you the last time I read a comic book. It's been normally like I'll read some. I read a bunch of Vampirilla on my flight to Florida in April.
Like what kind of Vampirilla?
I was reading a lot of the old Warren magazine ones.
Oh yeah, right on.
Digitally, and that was pretty interesting.
Really dark. I mean, it's cool that it's all in black and white and everything, but yeah, it's like very, very, you know, like Black Dracula type themes, right? Very cultish. Yeah, which
I really enjoyed. Honestly, like some of the Dynamite stuff that they came out with wasn't really my favorite. It felt pretty cheesy, and I know like recently Vampirilla seems to be pretty popular right now. So I don't know if they've did they restart Vampirilla again, and it's just
they did last. I want to say it was last year, the year before. They had a couple of them. They had Vengeance of Vampirilla and the regular Vampirilla. Quite honestly, I think most people buy it for the covers, right? Because there's some really great covers. Comics with Bueller.
Yes,
what are you doing, buddy?
Bueller.
So relevant to a Hawaiian shirt. Is it Malibu Sun? No, it's not Malibu Sun actually. I'm a Dave Stevens fan.
Oh.
And I saw this, and I got a good deal on it, but it's we're going big on this. It's Crossfire and Rainbow. It's the Elvis
Dude, that is so awesome. And that is 100% relevant.
Isn't it? I love this
Man,
cover.
what
It's
a
just so
cool
great. I mean,
cover.
who gets, like I don't know if there's going to be an Elvis category on comic gories at any point, but
You would win. You would.
I would totally
100%
win. I would totally win. That would call it.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, I don't really know what to. I thought maybe it's not comic related. Maybe it's just something else. But
Right.
wow.
No, got that, and I got this guy. I'm gonna have to update the slab, which is funny because
Yes.
I got this, and then I wind up actually spending, I think, more than I spent on this on a raw copy at MegaCon, forgetting that I had gotten this. So yeah, Everyday Magic from Zatanna,
Which is a surprisingly difficult comic to find.
it really is. Everybody loves this Bolin cover, right? I mean, 'cause
Yes.
it's a great cover.
Yeah.
Because I've looked at the interior art, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's nothing to
It's
be
she
super excited
kind of looks
about.
like a kid. Sorry, like the light's really bad here.
Nope, it works. I see it.
Yeah, but she kind of looks like a kid, but like the cover is just so much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the big draw for that. I think for this guy is just the cover. But I saw it, and I'm like, oh, maybe it needs, maybe it can pull an upgrade. Who knows? Otherwise,
Speaking of upgrades and Zatanna,
yeah.
guess what comic book my 4-year-old decided to knock down?
No, not Dem Legs.
Dem Legs.
Oh,
The-
but it's a
the
9.8, right?
It was a 9.8. It was. The case kind of exploded a little bit. It was still intact. I sent it in to get reholdered, and they were like, this is not a 9.8 anymore. And I'm like, oh my God. And so they sent me pictures. I talked with TJ. I sent him the pictures, and I'm like, I don't see anything that's color breaking, just some like weird things. So it's currently still sitting at CGC, getting pressed and cleaned. And oh God, I hope it comes back at 9.8. Because I will be it took me so long, and now that comic is so expensive.
Oh my God, I know. I have 2 raw copies that I know if I send them, they're going to get 9.6s. I have not found a 9.8 yet.
It's impossible with the red, the black. It's impossible.
Yes, black back cover. It's like trying to find a Amazing Spider-Man 300, right?
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
So I will be pretty devastated about that.
Oh, bro. Sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that. That's terrible.
It's okay. I'll be happy regardless. As if it comes back like a 9.4 or less, I'll probably be pretty devastated. And then the search will continue, and suddenly I'll be back into comics. So maybe you should wish for that, because I will be on the hunt for.
Yeah, if anything's gonna get you back, it's gonna be that.
It's Dem Legs for sure. Because not to like. I kind of feel like I pumped up those numbers a little bit. like everybody sees that comic and they're like,
for that. Yeah.
Dem Legs.
Yeah.
I did this.
We all have to just, throw the absolute respect, because you coined the Dem Legs. Like everybody knows it now. I think like across the world, everybody knows that's the Dem Legs cover.
Yeah. So good.
Oh. That's horrible, man. I'm going to cry tonight about that one. Oh man.
Yeah, I think the only other the last slab I got is actually sitting up there, which I don't know, I probably posted on Instagram. I don't think I posted it. No, I didn't make a video on YouTube about it. But remember how hard it was for me to find a 9.9?
Well, you found a 9.9?
Well, I was on the hunt for years, right?
Just for any 9.9 or a specific one?
A Green Lantern, Jeff Johns series 9.9. And
okay.
You can watch the video, but TJ, this is when I got super upset with TJ, because he competed with me without telling me.
We
ended up spending like $400 on this 9.9, which is also sitting right here. When we probably could have gotten it for like 100 and something.
Yeah.
This was that one, right? Which is crazy.
Signed by Jeff Johns, right?
But I found this, which is
nice. Rebirth
number 1. and it's a third printing, so I don't know if that makes it any rarer or not. But it was in a 9.9, and it was a buy it now, and I just like.
I like when they did that with the third print, like when they do something different. Like there's a new series out called Nice House on the Lake, and like each of the printings, it's like it's the particular cover. It's like a girl in a lake, and there's like bones popping up all around her, like skeleton bones, like surfing up. And then like the second print is like weathered around the edges, like it was a photograph that was burned. And then the third print is like even more just decomposed, on the picture, framing it in. Well, that was a nice use. But DC was always really good about doing something different for their second prints or third prints. Either not necessarily a different cover, but going like a black and white or a sketch version.
Yep.
There's some
just changing the color. The
color
in general. Yeah.
Color palette or something like that. The Action Comics that. Covers that Mike Turner did when those went to second printings, because like there's no Action Comics out there that went to second printings past Death of Superman, and then Mike Turner does a couple of covers for it, right? And it's like they're all going to second print, but it was cool because they would do like either like a half color, half black and white, or a black and white like sketch version of it.
Yep.
Super cool.
So TJ said if it doesn't come back at 9 I'm sure.
Yeah, I didn't want to throw up his threat.
Okay, TJ. This is one that I'm like, if it doesn't come back at 9.8, I dare you to find one in 9.8 because everybody knows how
$1,700 now or some stupid crap.
It's forever. It's the hard. It's so hard.
It is. I mean, honestly, I'm okay with the ones that I have. I mean, it's a new book. A 9.8 would be fantastic, but even the 9.6s that I've seen out in like conventions, like they're not upgradable.
No,
I'm not going to be able to fix it. It's just, there's a color break. It's like, we're done.
yeah. I don't know what happened with that. I mean, because they were pretty low. All those like 15 and 16 especially were very low print. But like, I don't know what happened, but they must have just been like, here's your stupid Zatanna books. Just take them. We don't care. Blah, 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 just jacking them all up.
Right. Just bad boxing.
Thanks, Diamond
and their terrible boxing.
Bunch of jerks.
Well, that's okay. They've earned their just desserts at this point.
Oh,
if they last the decade, I'll be surprised.
I talked a lot of trash to TJ about CGC. I was like, you know what?
Stop getting that old man's blood pressure up. I mean,
because I'm like, dude, all this stuff that they're trying to implement, their turnaround times are terrible. And then as soon as I talk trash to them, I'll get like a CGC submission notice like, hey, your stuff's ready to ship, you jerk. I'm like, oh, man. I guess this is the answer. Just talk a lot of trash about them and they'll get to it.
Uh-oh. What is that?
By the way, I found what might be the rarest Adam Hughes cover at work the other day. There are 0 on the census. At work, did you happen to like?
Well, he works at.
Did you buy it? Like, did you take it home? Are you going to show me?
So the question really becomes is was that graded already, or was it just something that you found? Because I mean, there's some old stuff. I mean, what is there? There's like some Nexus covers that he did, and the Detectives was like a square bound one shot.
It would have to be incredibly rare because I mean, even like when he would do programs for like Dallas Comic-Con, like a little program, people have those graded because anything Adam Hughes is worth grading most of the time.
So here's something cool. I know they were doing it here at C2E2 one year, but a buddy of mine in Texas had just got. Apparently, Adam Hughes did he did one of these little events. So like they have, it's for the Foundation for the Writers. What is that called? Heroes Initiative. Yeah. Heroes Initiative. So at C2E2 on the Thursday night before the opening day of the show on Friday, in the bar at the hotel right next door, they have all this panel of artists that would just get together, like Jen Bartel and Art Balthazar and a bunch of these guys, and they get together and they just like people would walk up, like they'd get a number and it would like say who you got to go to, and you walk up to them and then you hand them like it's like a playing card or like a blank playing card, and they'll doodle on, do a little sketch, or no, not a playing card, but a coaster.
Yeah.
And they'll do a sketch on the coaster, and then you get that, right? And then he found it. Adam Hughes did a 2-parter. So he did like half of the sketch on one of them, and then the other half on another. And I'm like, I don't think he's going to be able to get it graded by a company or anything like that, for like posterity. But he's got it in a frame. But it's really cool. It's just like it was like a Catwoman, but it was like in 2 pieces. It was like so you get the head on one and the chest on the other one. It was funny.
Whatever it takes.
Right.
All right. So Alec sent me the picture. It is a stranger's tale.
Oh, this is crazy. Hang on. Let me bounce you up there. A stranger's tale? I have not heard of that one.
I don't know how to get out of here, light.
I thought my lighting was bad.
There we go.
Stranger's tale. Huh. I
have never seen this before.
Me either.
All I know is that guy's name is Spork. You have, wait, let me get back to it. You have, the top guy is Guns, kind of looks like a Judge Dredd type.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's Avatar. Then you have Guns second, and then Spork. And
the
then
Warthog is named Spork?
Yep. And then the Magnificent one is the bottom one. Oh, and then Santos is the lady. Santos.
All right. Well, that means that you need to buy up all the copies that are there and send them out to the people on this chat, because we all want that copy now.
Yes.
There's only 9 of us, so you're good. 10 copies. Oh, and TJ says, challenge gladly accepted, finding a 9/8 of dem leg.
You won't. Because I don't believe it's possible.
Right? I'm with you. I've been looking for a while.
I mean, it's possible, but you're just going to end up buying it as a 9.8, directly.
Yeah, exactly. There's not going to be any situation there where it's going to be available.
Yeah.
Too funny. Oh, so we're going to wrap this up soon. We are doing Batgirl Year 1 on Gotham City Chronicles tonight.
Is that a good read?
It is an excellent read. It is actually one of my all-time favorite Barbara Gordon stories.
All right. So let's say I was thinking about reading a comic from maybe something that's come out new in the past year since I've kind of stepped away. What would you suggest?
I would not suggest X-Men. That is a whirlwind of 700 issues, and it's only been out a year. It's a really large interconnected story that I'm still working my way through. It is a good read, no matter what Chaos and Comics says, but it is a good read. It's a different take, and it's kind of refreshing, to a point. But it's kind of been the culmination of where everything X-Men related has gone in the last 5-6 years. I've heard Gideon Falls is good. I've heard
that did start coming out.
That was about 2 years ago.
Yep.
I've heard Ascender and Descender. All right. Well, Descender was first, and then Ascender. I'm waiting to get the hardcover from my LCS. That's coming out, or that's been out, and that's been really good. Actually, I got to be honest with you. Outside of mainstream superhero stuff, I would definitely check out JP's indie show, because there's a lot of good stuff that's on there, and they do a good review of it. Of course, they spoil the shit out of everything, so it's almost like you don't even need to read it. Similar to what we're going to do tonight on this guy, we're going to tear this apart. But it's still a fun read. It really is. It's super good. So I would definitely recommend this, Batgirl Year 1. But man, I don't get as much opportunity to read as I would like, right? I hear, Something is Killing the Children, I hear, is just tremendous, right? So when that first trade comes out, if it's already out, pick that up.
Yeah.
Because that's supposed to go crazy. Oblivion Song just got picked up. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be owning that and starring in it. So that's huge. Yeah, absolutely. There are constant spoilers. So we're hearing Analog is really good. Black Science or Dead Eyes. I think those are Image properties. Batman has been rock solid ever since James Tynion picked up the helm. Although I could be honest with you, I mean, it was like a lot of the groundwork was laid by Tom King. So the whole rebirth, I guess, would be really good. Die, yeah.
Ooh, I read the first like 5
I think
issues.
you would dig Die, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And then did they take a break? Because I feel like they just stopped for a little bit.
They did. They kind of stopped and then they picked it back up, but
man,
not so much like Saga, right? Like Saga's like a dead species. It's just done. I don't think they're coming back, right? I mean, it was terrible anyway.
Blasphemy!
400 subscribers right there.
Yep, big arm. It was a weird one, but I mean, it was original and different.
Absolutely, it was workable.
Dude, I'm so excited about. I know, like we're wrapping up, but terrible at it. I'm so sorry. I know you have a few minutes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Huge DC fan. One, I did love Suicide Squad, but I am so excited about this year of Marvel. Like, especially like watching that Spider-Man trailer that just dropped. I literally was like, "Oh my god!" Like, it feels like comic book people are actually running the show, and they know, like they know.
I'm glad we got to this. I really am, because I wanted to talk about the Spider-Man trailer, and just we talked about a lot of other things.
We don't have to go too deep into it. I'll let you do it on like JP show or in your next iteration.
Yeah, we'll pick it up next time.
Wilderness Trail weeded bourbon.
Weeded bourbon.
I'll do it.
Oh, yeah,
but I will try it.
We need to have just a bourbon tasting program on Carlito's channel.
Yes, please.
That's cool.
That would actually be really cool. We should do that.
But no, we can totally talk about the Spider-Man trailer for a couple minutes. So my son was telling me so it was obvious we saw a pumpkin bomb, right? From like, we're going to assume Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, Willem Dafoe, right?
Yep.
We saw Doc Ock, which was phenomenal, right? Like, I think Alfred Molina was just the best Doc Ock.
He was.
But if I could pick out of the entire Spider-Man universe, the two best villains that they actually did was Doc Ock and Sandman. And that third Spider-Man movie was so bad as a film because of all they tried to jam into it. And as I understand it, it's not Sam Raimi's fault, because the studio really wanted him to put Venom in there. But Sandman was incredible from start to finish. The graphics on it, his origin, everything was so compelling. And Thomas Hayden Church is just such a great actor.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have picked a better guy. I mean, he was stoic. He had the look of it.
He did a great job. That film gave me the same vibes that like Batman versus Superman had, where like, why are you trying to take all these different storylines and like smash them into a few hours? Like, you're gonna make more money if you just like make another movie.
Bring him back for more times. It was 3 movies that they jammed into one film, and that's what bothered me so much about Batman vs Superman. It was just too much, way too much.
Batman vs Superman or Death of Superman. Pick one. Not
both. Absolutely right. Like, again, you're just rushing everything, But my opinion, I still have problems with everything that Zack Snyder did. I mean, like from The Watchmen on, right? He's just, everything he's done has been, tired and tedious. He just doesn't understand characters.
I have one question though. So at the end of phase, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever the last Avengers Endgame ended, the last time we saw the Doctor Strange's New York City hideout, right? The sanctuary, whatever they call it.
Sanctum Sanctorum, yeah.
You know the name. Oh my god. It was
big nerd right here.
It had a huge hole in it, right? And I'm assuming that's why it was covered in snow.
That's entirely possible. I get, because it's hard to think about like where things pick up. But the fact of the matter is that he's been dead for 5 years. So when that happened, I mean, I don't know if Wong disappeared, right? Because he wasn't around, during the snap. So we have no idea what's actually happened. Otherwise, it could have just been a spell gone wrong. But I think that kind of is going to play into the story a little bit because I don't see. It doesn't feel like Doctor Strange, to be that reckless with something, So and there's a lot because it's essentially the One More Day story, right? Where after Civil War and everybody finds out, Spider-Man's true identity.
Yeah.
He goes to he went to Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange said no, and then he winds up making a deal with Mephisto to take it back. And Mephisto's like, "That's great, but it's going to be on my terms." And he's like, "You and Mary Jane were never married," and Mary Jane asked him for one thing, so she throws her one thing in there, and that was to get Harry back. But obviously, that story's going to play out a little, quite a bit differently on the screen. I think it's great that it plays to it, but it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
I was just hoping. I really like. This is super stupid. It has nothing to do with like comics, right? But I'm like, why is Doctor Strange not just using magic to pick up all this snow?
Right. Well, you don't see him shoveling either. Like they're just in jackets, and one's like, "I'm out of here."
I was like, this would be a great opportunity. I mean, I know they did it in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, where they kind of had that like homage to Fantasia, right?
Yeah.
Where Mickey Mouse is like making all the mops move and stuff. Like, they should do that with Doctor Strange. Just like have a nod to like Mickey Mouse with Disney and just like make all the brooms.
Well, not even just that. I mean, like, how often did Mrs. Weasley use magic to clean shit up, right?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Very cool. Anyway, so I'm going to shut this down. I'm so happy for everybody who showed up to hang out with me and Matt. We're going to do this a lot more often now that he has freed up a little bit of time from dad duties. Fact. But I'll be on vacation starting next week, so it'll be a couple weeks before we can get back to it. But thanks, everybody, and cheers. Have a great weekend.
Crap, I'm out.
You crap them out, yeah. Refill.
Cheers. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.